Welcome back to Let's Try Iconoclasts. So I want to take just a brief moment to talk about some of the characters that we've run into in this game. Between Mina and Elro and Royal and even Black, I think I absolutely love how the characters are treated in this game. And by that, I guess what I'm trying to say is none of the characters that we've met thus far are necessarily good or bad. None of them are. And at the same time, none of them have a distinctive, this is a personality flaw that this person has. Instead, everything that's going on and all of the conflict between all the characters, all of them, honestly, almost all of the conflict between all of them is purely because they are very simply different people with different beliefs. And I think the way this game handles beliefs, and to an extent religion, I suppose, I think is phenomenal. And I say that because you get someone like Mina, who obviously she can't really partake of her own culture to the fullest of degrees, but she was still raised in it. That's still what she believes, wholeheartedly, the way she responded to seeing the ancient vessel before. Again, it's something she believes. She was raised believing that was the truth, and that was the way things were done, and this is the way things should be done. And I think as consumers of video games, we've perhaps gotten a little complacent with some of the characters that we see in games, because we expect them to be super aware of what's going on and super willing to completely change their beliefs based on new information. And that's where you would get something like that, say, and they would be more willing to understand, more willing to believe that that wasn't the only case. That maybe theirs wasn't the only thing going on. Or with Elro, who Elro has thus far been a very interesting character, but I feel like also a very realistic character. Because so far, what we've seen was he was working for the one concern, but undercover in a way to help the resistance against the concern. But that doesn't mean he didn't believe in the religion of the one concern, because that's what he was raised to believe. Like, you can't think of it in terms of a video game character who's suddenly revealed to them that, like, oh, by the way, this organization is evil, and they go, oh, okay, well, time to ride along with the hero and fight alongside him to take down that dastardly evil corporation. Like, when that's the religion that you've been raised to believe, I mean, look at what you believe as a viewer. Like, especially when you get something that's been so ingrained in you, when you're in a position, unlike today, where it's super easy to be exposed to all kinds of different ideas and theories and everything going on. Especially in the earlier days and in the age of Iconoclasts, it's more difficult to get that variety of information. It is still just what you believe. So even Elro, despite that he understands this is wrong, still deep down, he believes in it. and not in a... And I think the way these characters believe like this is brought to the forefront. The way Elro questions Mina, and Mina questions Royal, which Royal's a whole other sack of potatoes. Like, the way they do that, it's not like in what you would typically see, where you have, oh, this one person comes from a place with their awkward customs, and they just come in and they're just happy and peachy keen to be alongside everyone else doing their own customs and things, and they just have the odd line every now and then where they say, oh, in my culture, we do things this way. Or how peculiar that you do it that way. Like, that's not how it would realistically work when you have these people with two very strong, very conflicting religions that are forced to interact with each other, especially when it involves things that have to do with that religion. There's going to be a lot of tension. And I think it's beautifully handled. Royal is another one, which, well, to wrap up talking about Elro real quick before I talk about Royal, people in the comments have been giving Elro some crap, and admittedly, he has not made great decisions, but I think he's made very realistic decisions. He was already in a high-tension situation, a high-tension position. He felt like nothing was going anywhere, and he couldn't take it anymore. So it wasn't thought out. It wasn't a well-articulated plan. He just knew that I've got to do something. Like, he felt the need that something needed to be done. Even if it didn't, he felt like something needed to be done, and nobody was doing anything. And without even thinking, that's when he stabbed Gray with the thing. He didn't even know what it would do. And of course, as soon as he sees it does anything, you can tell he didn't think that through at all. And I feel like that's a much more realistic thing for someone to do. Humans are spontaneous. We don't think our crap through. We make stupid decisions and go, I should not have done that. Once you can think clearly about it. And then Royal, which we can question Royal's decisions, and in a position of neutrality, we can realize how he's acting, but this is a guy who's been raised his entire life being told that he's special. He is above everyone else. He's the next envoy of him. He's used to having everything done his way and him being the center of attention. And as soon as he's now run up against some people that aren't willing to put up with him, like, he just doesn't understand. He can't wrap his head around it. He still feels like, yes, I'm still that important. Why aren't they treating me that way? Like, they have to understand my importance. And yet, because they just don't treat him that way, they don't tell him anything. So he's off doing stupid things and making stupid decisions based on what little information he has and was raised having, because nobody's told him any more than that. Like, he was raised thinking he was this great majestic one, and that these symbols are holy symbols, and all of this is great, and he needs to get rid of this blasphemy, and that's what happened with the one giant, spiky gear crap, I can't remember what it's called, controller thing, where, like, that's all he knew, was he was just raised thinking that. From a position of neutrality, we can look at it and go, maybe we shouldn't mess with this thing, but, like, given how he was raised to think and act, all he could think, the only thing that he knew was that this is a blasphemous thing to be here. And nobody told him anything else. It's like, yeah, bad things happen. Nobody told him. Like, I think the characters and the writing for the characters in this game is amazing. Because all of the characters are treated very realistically. They don't necessarily have quirky character flaws or anything. They all feel like very real, very different people, all trying to deal with a weird situation and not necessarily even getting along for it. Okay, now that I've talked forever and a half, let's go see what happened to Royal. How about if I just keep going so you guys can't do anything to me? So Royal went up here. Can I shoot you? I mean, I can. That's not what I was expecting because I forgot it did that. Oh, you can blow up those that way. Somebody mentioned that you can actually blow them up with... This probably won't make them respawn. You can actually blow them up with a rocket. Okay, Royal was here. The blue things are here. For a moment I thought this was dead bodies, but it's not, it's just snow. And things are happening. Oh hey, that's that guy. I remember that guy. Everybody knows different things, and we don't even know what's going on. We know there's an ivory shortage. We know that the pirates are killing the planet by taking ivory from where they're taking it. But, like, what's the concern doing? They're gonna try to go to the small moon and take some ivory, I guess? And I feel like something else is up with his B-17. And they're not letting everybody know what happened to Royal. Oh, so you can see Chrome has the, and we've noticed this before, but Chrome has the metal legs. So presumably that's when he was agentized, that was the part of him that was lost and replaced. What? Oh, that guy on the right's freaking out. What's going on, Chrome? They're all gonna die. That really shows how loyal everyone was to Chrome. And Chrome was bringing the truth to them. Chrome appeals to the smaller people, but he doesn't... Perhaps he doesn't even know the big picture. I feel like that's the issue. Like, Chrome doesn't actually know the big picture. Okay, so that's done. I did something. Because, like, he thinks about the little people, and he thinks about what's important to the little people. And to him, that's all that should really matter. Okay, so I can't really... Well, I can do this. That'll bring it out. What does charging this thing do, anyway? I don't know. It's not close enough. That lets me over here. I did it! I just kind of was doing stuff, and it worked, so I'm glad. There's another save point, which means something big is probably going to happen. I feel like because I talked for a really long time at the beginning of this video, this is probably also already about the end of the video. But let's continue on for a little while, I suppose. This is going to be interesting because air. Oh, that's brick. Oh, he's gone. Waiting for everything to go away. Charge up the gun. Do this. And get me over here. Hey! Oh no, I still can't breathe. I can't breathe in any of this. Oh, dear. Well, I made it. But what was the point of that? I want to go up. Don't I? Oh, that's why I needed it up. Okay. Okay, things should be a little bit easier now that I'm... Now that I know where I'm going. This is not gonna go well. Because there's nowhere to breathe up there. No, never mind. You can breathe right here. Okay. Okay, let's charge you up. Charge you up. And get the heck over here before we run out of air. Hit the switch like we're supposed to. And get somewhere we can breathe. Alright, we did it. I understand I was supposed to be doing that up until now, but it was... I understand we were supposed to be doing that before. I was supposed to be doing the quick movement thing before the end, but... I don't know, I like to be able to take my time and figure out what's going on. It kind of bit me in the butt there where I was taking a lot of damage at the end. That's a dead guy. Why do I feel like I don't want to keep going this way? I feel... Oh, there was an item back there, too. Okay, you know what? I feel like if I keep going this way, very bad things are going to happen. So there was an item back here. Not in here. There's an item back here that I will look at and probably call the video there. Okay, so it's like here somewhere. Aha! It's around here somewhere, and I couldn't find anything on the other side over there. Alright, since I feel like very bad things are happening, I'm gonna go ahead and save here and call it, and next time, probably bad things are gonna happen. So yeah, until next time, everybody.